time. Syndra and LeBlanc banned out by H2k, Jace and Ari taken away. Are they going to let Zed through? We'll see who works out. In which case, what will their first pick be this time?
Well, again, Jarvan would then be open for H2k. Could pick it again for Lulex in the jungle, because with the Ari ban here, I think they're going to leave Zeref open, ban Zed as the last one on the side of InFaculty, and you can ban Lee Sin again now for H2k if you want to. First pick the Jarvan, and you can also first pick the Lee Sin if that is what you want to go for.
Well, Zed was banned here by InFaculty, so full focus on Febiven. What are they going to first pick? Will they go for a mid lane? And being on that blue side, you've got to pick it first anyway, most likely. We'll have a see about that one. I got a feeling, though, with that Jarvan ban and Lee Sin being left open, that they may just go that way. Although, you can argue as well that Lulex playing on that Kha'Zix was pretty frightening as well. Yeah, but, I mean, obviously, Team was going to be the first pick, everyone knows. If you do take the Lee Sin here, you make sure, again, you have the stronger early game jungler. And we've already seen InFaculty have problems making plays in the early game. So by picking Lee Sin, you secure the strongest jungler open, and it just makes it super hard now for Obvious. He might have to pull out something new.
It's not only that, it's Lodex's favorite champion.
That too, I mean,
like he's got like probably 4 or 5 times as many games on Lee Sin than anything else in his champion pool. He has played a hell of a lot of this. Xaxus looking to pick something. Is it going to be the Corki? Are they going to try and take that away from Hjarnan finally? Or will they go for something else? Don't think we're going to see a Gragas, though.
Probably not. I mean, you can play Gragas still.
You can, but you'd be reported by your team.
Wow. Taking Corki away, I'm not sure it's going to hurt H2k a lot, because it's not been about the Corki pick at all. It's basically just been sitting, doing its job, and whenever you needed him in a late game team fight, Hjarnan would be there, and that's been about it. For H2k, I mean, you have a lot of options open still. Lissandra is open. It really doesn't seem like InFaculty plays it. Again, it's a flex pick. You go top, can go mid lane, can lock it in next time if they want to.
Well, it will be Corki Sona here for InFaculty. First round of pick secures them their duo lane. And funnily enough, Zeref left open for the first time with those just masses of mid lane bans coming in. Zeref is probably the next one in the list that really comes to mind. Orianna, a very all-round safer pick in this mid lane. We'll see where they decide to go with that one. Either way, InFaculty have to come up big in this match.
So they do have a very strong bottom lane at the moment. They have all-in potential, a lot of poke. You have to sustain again from Sona. It's probably going to be a Janna pick for Voidal, because it's just been working out so well. You play passive in the lane, and then it's just all about these team fights instead. Janna Sivir as well would make a lot of sense. So much mobility and disengage from that comp.
We'll see whether they lock it in. They're definitely taking a little bit longer to discuss this one. Bit of mastery change maybe going on, catching them out a little bit with maybe the pick and bans did catch them out. That's what you got to do, upset them a little bit. But not too sure yet.
Here's the thing.
Not too sure.
Sivir is super good in lane against Corki. You have your spell shield against the Q from Corki, which is even slower now on 4.21, making it even easier to spell shield. And what you do is you just push the lane 24/7, and you just push it into the tower. Corki won't be able to respond. He won't be able to push it back to you, and that's how you can play the lane. If you do get ganked, you pop your ulti. You have the lantern as well from Thresh. I mean, you have a lot of ways of escaping this lane here. So H2k might even go for lane swap with it. We don't know. Thresh is one of the best supports at roaming at level 1 and 2 and setting up plays. We're gonna have to see what they decide.
I have a feeling that, I mean, at this stage, you've got to do something a little bit different. They've tried 2 games in a row to play their way, and it's just not worked out for them. It's just not being good. So you have to feel that something a little bit different for InFaculty may be what the doctor ordered. For now, they're hovering over Yasuo, which would surprise me, because they could save their mid lane pick until their last pick. Or they could take Orianna away, which is probably one of the champions, especially with all these bans, that you wouldn't blind pick.
Yeah, you can blind pick her, as always. She's a super safe laner, but Zeref is a fine pick against Orianna. He has a free lane, you get your Morellonomicon, and then you hit your massive power spike where Orianna needs more time. She needs to get to 2 or 3 items before she can really start doing anything, and she's not exactly a roamer. She doesn't apply a lot of pressure on the side lanes. Their comp so far, you have Elise, you have Corki, you have Orianna. It's a lot of like siege potential here, poke, and you can group up fairly early. But that is basically what they can do so far. We're gonna have to see if they want to get Aurelia as the last pick for Xaxus here, or if H2k are just gonna steal it.
Well, if Aurelia gets locked in, you're almost certainly going to see Xaxus on Jax, I feel.
Yeah.
Would be a fairly decent skill fight in that top lane, but Let's see what Hyanan is going to pick up for Forbidden. What will that mid lane battle? Will it be the Xerath, like you said, that he pulled out? Will he go for
he was banned.
Something else? He was banned a couple of times. It seems the obvious pick, and he is now hovering over it.
And also because there's no hard engage so far on the side of Faculty. Yeah, you have Elise, you can kite, you can land a cocoon. That's about it. Zona does the same thing. Corgi long range poke on Orianna as well. You don't really have any way of engaging onto Xerath here. And if you ever do, Sivir pops her ulti, and then you just run away. Thresh and Lee Sin can peel. If it's going to be the Jax coming in on the top side, the problem will be the jungle pressure. Lee Sin will be able to come up, help Aurelia, max your E, land a stun, kill the Jax.
So for Xaxus then, we've already speculated Jax. Lack of hard engage though, is Jax really the one that you want to be putting in there on top of that?
Could you Maokai in this case here just to get some sort of engage and then flash snare onto someone like the Sivir or Xerath, and you have the ball then on the Maokai, and that's how you start your fights. But there's also going to be a super slow scaling comp for them once again, but only Corki has the mid-game power spike.
Top lane Malphite, yeah.
I mean, now you can start a fight. You have a Malphite, put the ball, smack into the face of Xerath or Sivir, and your fight is on.
Well, I mean, you've got the wombo combo, but
you do.
They've not exactly been a coordinated team to land that wombo combo in the last two matches.
They've been very slow also, like grouping up, actually looking for the fights, and once again, Xerath in his mid lane is going to do just fine. We know Sivir can constantly push the bottom lane, apply pressure again and again, and Aurelia, top lane versus Malphite, it's just a fine lane for Odoamne to sit and farm. And then it's going to be all about the junglers, applying the pressure in the early game, and we have seen Lulix being ahead of Obvious in terms of setting up the ganks and applying the pressure.
Well, you can see H2k looking pretty stress-free at the moment. Not exactly the faces that we're used to seeing from H2k when we think back to the past, where their two endeavors into promotion have both ended in 0-3s. And certainly looking better this time around. But we shouldn't forget, this is just a semi-final of the upper bracket. There's still a winner's match, and if you end up winning that, of course, you get a spot. If you lose that, you have to fight your way through in the lower bracket. And this one is not over yet either. In fact, no kidding around. They have a massive, massive, mammoth task, mountain task, maybe even you would say, in front of them. 3 games in a row where they've already been dominated for 2. I don't see it happening, personally.
I like the fact that H2k, when talking to them, they can joke about it themselves. You know, yeah, we're feeling very confident, but we were before and before that. So it's good that he can actually joke about it. They know they've been in this situation before. They know they've failed many times before. So that in itself is they're accepting that okay, we're good. We know we're good. We know we're better than this opposite team, but let's actually keep our focus. Let's not get too cocky. We have just dominated the game. You could look at the last match and say there were elements of being cocky. They were diving into fights where a little bit too recklessly, despite the fact they had a big lead. Let's see how it works out, though. Game 3 getting underway in the European LCS expansion tournament. This is the first quarterfinals round. Of course, we've already got one team in there. It was Giants Gaming. A little bit of a surprise. I think Reason Gaming were expecting to put up a bit more of a fight. They were taken down 3-0 if you missed that one earlier on. And H2k at the moment are looking to be facing them in the winner bracket, which we played out on Saturday. The loser bracket will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. All those matches will be at 1 p.m. Central European time.
And right now, because H2k have been invading into the jungle at level 1 and placing some deep wards, Faculty here setting up, hoping for someone to walk into this blue buff or the Grump and place the ward. H2k, however, not buying for it, doesn't actually want a deep ward. This time around, they're the ones placing all the defensive ones, and we will just have a very standard start, except for the Corki being swapped to the top lane. Doesn't want to deal with this Sivir in the laning phase.
And that's very good. I mean, that shows, this is what we were talking about earlier on, about how these challenger teams, sometimes they do come through and they can play one way and that's all they can do. H2k have been in and around. They've won 2 challenger series already. They've adapted. They know different tactics, and they know, just like if you were to speak to Fnatic, look, you can't play the same way all the time, which is why they always used to switch things up. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But the fact that they just changed their level 1 strategy basically saved their lives, and they don't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. Very true. And now they get their crooks down here in this bottom lane. It does mean they won't get the freeze in the bottom side, and it's actually what we saw in game 1, where they now have to push the wave up and they need Lulix and Odoamne to come down to this bottom side of the map. Otherwise, Xaxus, obvious as well, are just going to walk into this bottom lane, pick up all the farm, And we might just see exactly the same. We might see exactly the same lane swap as in game 1, where Odoamne is just going to say, fair enough, I'm going to TP top and just be one-on-one against your AD carry.
Well, let's find out. There's a blue buff. Going to be going over to Lolex, playing that Lee Sin this time around. Third game, third different champion for him, as is the case in this mid lane. This time around, of course, Xerath for Febiven versus Soz Pure Effect on Orianna. This lane has only gone one way in both games, to be honest. Febiven just showing that he might be just, you know, and this can happen, that he might just be the stronger player right now. He's showed it in both games so far, where he's really, I wouldn't say in game 2 dominated the laning phase very early on, but then it was a kill and then another kill, and it just snowballed out of control, as happened in game number 1. This time it's not going to be all that much easier for him, to be honest, with the fact that Xerath can just sit back from range and farm up a storm.
And we see once again Mountain going down to this bottom side. Xaxus will join as soon as the wave hits the tower. Can use the teleport if he wants to catch the entire wave here. And then we can see Aurelia go top side against the Corgi, as we talked about before. They are moving down right now, and there's a teleport.
So a quick back to buy.
Wait a minute, he TP'd bottom lane.
Yeah, a back to buy for... Where did he just... He cancelled it.
He cancelled it.
Yeah, well, that must have been a misclick. Like, why would he TP to the minion right there? Unless they wanted to dive the zone, and maybe that was the case.
Oh, they caught the hook. They go straight in, and they kind of get the hit. There it is. The kick lands from Lolex, well, proving why he is a Elysian player as a main. Perfectly played by H2k. He could have teleported, he could have got an assist, but instead, they may actually get another one here. Xaxus got to be careful. There is a wave of minions there already, so it gives them free passage to back away, but a quick first blood, and well worked by H2k.
Yeah, so they quickly realize we don't actually need you here to dive the zone. She's alone, we can get her, and he can just run straight to top lane. So Tilba will be on cooldown, but he's up here. The wave was being frozen anyway, and now he just needs to push it into the tower, reset it, and have his one-on-one against the Corgi. And Xaxus, of course, they need to pick up the farm.
And that's confidence if I've ever seen it, going, because they were both walking down that way, and it looked like the call was made, get down there now so that we can dive it. Oh, actually, you know what, we don't need you here, so just cancel that and walk to the top, and we'll finish off Zona. That leaves him in that 1 versus 1. Should be able to rack up, gradually more farm there than Malphite, who himself should be fine underneath that turret at this point. And actually, Cedrian might be able to do some good damage back on the top side of the map if he plays that one a little bit more aggressive, because Aurelia's got to get right up onto him to get that farm back, since the wave is actually pushing towards the faculty tower.
So I like this movie about Mountain coming up to zone him away and therefore forcing Lulex to go top lane and help him push it out. But that play down his bottom lane, that was such a big mistake by in faculty. You know they're going to be 4 members or at least 3 members on the bottom side of the map. You should never walk in and stand alone at the tower. He could have waited for his team to come join. Xaxus was on his way, Orbius was on his way, and then that dive would never have happened, and the first blood wouldn't have gone to Sivir.
Well, as it turns out, it's given H2k a chunk of change, 2 assists and the kill, and pretty much dominance of the lane. And we were talking about the fact that Cedrian of the top lane, gotta be honest, I wouldn't fancy being a solo Corki up against an Aurelia that can dive on you very quickly. We'll see how that one plays out. At the moment, you can see Odoamne is actually in the jungle, so he's taking on the Gromp. So he's choosing to sit and farm out that jungle, taking it away a little bit from Lolex, but Lolex himself is on the move once again. He's back down in this bottom half of the lane.
Yeah, because Mountain joined up in his top lane again, and Corki is ahead in levels and still fairly strong at this point. They actually knew they couldn't send Lulex up there, so even 2 members, they wouldn't have been able to push it out, at least not safely, and therefore decided just to back away and now wait for the entire wave to come in. They should be able to zone him away.
That's how it's gone. That's going to go very quickly, and Zaz is in trouble.
Yeah, they need to bring Obvious down there. He is coming around the side, but they managed to hook him in. This could actually be Obvious going down. He's going to drop right back in on top of the mirror after that repel. Will use his flash, but they almost lose the tower. They use summoner spells. They almost die there in the end, as we are going to see top lane Odoamne also going incredibly low.
Yeah, so Odoamne here, he walked back to his tower, and because the 2 members from In Faculty was pushing down a massive wave, they could zone him away from the tower. And then we actually swapped down and we saw Xaxus in his bottom lane staying, holding his ground because Obvious was on his way. But Lulex at the moment, focusing on the bottom lane, didn't want to try and help Odoamne pick up all the farm in his top lane when it actually pushed down, and they should be able to get it down to the tower again, get quite some damage on it.
Well, I mean, in terms of gold, he's doing okay. He's got that 200 gold built up. He got that global gold, remember, and experience just from that tower going down. So he should be perfectly safe farming on his tower. It's going to be very tricky to stop an Aurelia farming on here. So he will get all of that. Oh, messed up that last one. Commentator's curse there. But that is the duo lane stepping away. And now he's got himself some free farm. I'm not sure Zazas is going to fancy coming into this one. He's got himself the chain vest. He will be able to just sit on tower and farm. I don't expect to be too bothered there, but no. He's losing out.
Yeah, but he does have teleport ready, and it is on cooldown for Odoamne. He just used it before here. So we could see Zazas try and make a play if in Faculty wants to set up an early dragon. Teleport down in the bottom lane, you have to place your ward in the side bush down towards the enemy tower, so Malphite can TP behind, smack you in the face with the ulti, take the dragon. He needs to be able to pick up some farm first, though, in this top lane.
That would be suggesting that N Faculty did something aggressively.
I know. I'm saying, I believe they will change up the playstyle.
All right, okay.
We will see, at minimum, one TP gank.
Well, here's a gank possibly coming in here. Hjarnan looking like he's in a bit of a 3v1 situation. He's going to back away from this one, Joe. I think he should be okay. He's going to have to use the spell shield. Didn't really matter.
That was cleanly done by Faculty.
I was about to pass it to you, Joe, but there's just no point.
No need to do it there. They did that really, really well. Did end up using that exhaust just to keep him locked in position, which, you know, other than the cocoon, we said it before, without Malphite, there's not all that much CC going to be available to them, as the hook will come in here on obvious, but that's not actually going to do anything because there's still minions there. It didn't draw aggro, and this is actually going to be the first turret of the game for N Faculty. Nice little push, get in the kill, get in the tower as well.
Nice play.
I'm not really sure where VODS was going because he went from base, walked top lane, got in between the two towers, decided I'm not going to go top lane anyway, walked into blue buff, started walking down to bottom lane where his AD carry was left all alone, and then Faculty just walk in, kill him, take the tower. Nice little setup here, didn't even use a teleport or anything, just got a free kill and a tower.
Uh-oh, face check, coming straight in, Voidal in trouble, has to pop the ultimate Cedric, putting the damage down, gets hooked in himself though, Hjarnan comes in, manages to land the boomerang blade, Voidal's the one that picks up the kill, teleport comes back around, it's three members of Faculty, will they catch on towards it, unstoppable force, followed by the cocoon, should be enough to take down Hjarnan, and now Voidal needs to make traps, he's got support, Lolex and Forbidden are coming around the side, they do catch on, but I don't think they want to take this fight.
No, Runaway, I think, is the name of the game from this one. Actually, Orianna joining from the top side, but has to flash away. Will shockwave onto Lolex, but his Q had already connected. The damage is there, but he's going to be picked off. Lolex will get that one, and just a little bit sloppy coming down with, I mean, they had two wards there, so they had vision of what was going on. Don't think he needed to do that in that scenario. The question now is, does this open anything up onto Dragon? I don't quite think so, because it's been such a tight start to this game.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of wards around this dragon here, so you couldn't try and sneak it because people would be around, would be able to spot you. Odoamne though was just left in his top lane because he didn't have his teleport, pushed it in, got a lot of more farm picked up. The Malphite pick, we're gonna have to see what Zazas can do because it is a good pick against like a Xerath. You can ulti onto him, you start the fight. Sivir, however, can spell shield if she's fast enough if you're engaged, which obviously is not the best case. But then you have the shockwave coming in from the Orianna, pulling the Sivir back. So there are options for N Faculty to start the fights.
Well, one thing's for sure, we are seeing N Faculty being a bit more aggressive, which is what we've been asking for the last two games. But the problem is, it's been answered by H2k. They did take down that middle turret, which is a big open area, and now looking like they're going to try and make a move for Dragon here. H2k not in position. They have teleport though for Odoamne. They may be able to fight this one. There's no unstoppable force or teleport for Zazas.
Yeah, this is super risky by N Faculty. I'm not even sure why they started Dragon after sending their top laner back to his own lane without the teleport. Zazas is moving down now. They need him to join. They need his ulti ready. Same for Sus Perfect here on the Orianna before they can fight in. Zona is actually not even level 6 yet.
Well, Odoamne has teleport available. Xerath not quite there, but will be starting to move in. We do see that Zazas has passed the halfway point now, but actually they lost control of Dragon there. It reset for one tick. There's Lolex coming in the backside. Can he pull this one off? He does go in, but no, he doesn't get it. And he will fall as well. Nicely done here from N Faculty.
So they managed to just stay around the Dragon here, and H2k could never really get away from it because they knew N Faculty would start it. Forbidden was fairly low on mana, and down this bottom lane, Hjarnan as well walked down to actually clear the wave. So patient pays off here for N Faculty to get a dragon and making plays in the early game.
Good setup overall, and now We're going to try and make some moves on this middle tower. The wave will get cleared very quickly by Xerath, as has been seen many times in the past. Xerath's so good at defending and clearing their waves. I remember thinking back to MYM's days when we had, I can't really think of who was the mid laner. Charu, that was it. The original Xerath, really, that used to play out in the LCS and clear waves for days and keep us talking about the game for a lot longer than we should have, because he managed to keep them clear. So, Faculty started to make some plays in this game. They are still behind in gold. It is only 1,000 gold differential, but with that first dragon on the board, things are looking a lot better for them.
Yeah, but right now, they're basically doing the only thing they can do with their comp. Group together, start pushing down the waves. You don't have a comp that can walk into the enemy jungle and just place a lot of deep wards early on, like Sona and Elise against a Lee Sin and a Thresh in this case. If you look at support and jungle, who normally are the ones to go together and place deep wards, they won't be able to do it. Sona is super weak in these small fights, so she can't do it. She has to stay with her team, meaning it's going to be hard for Faculty to actually push down something or get some control. Let's see what happens here. Xaxus jumping away.
Yeah, Unstoppable Force used early there from Xaxus. Did have a flash, but Unstoppable Force going to be the route out that he chooses to get that cooldown quicker than if he'd have used a flash. However, that does now leave this top turret basically open, and let's not forget Odoamne already took it down to less than half HP before, and now Xaxus playing a dangerous game underneath his own tower. Mountain's gonna come in, but that turret does go down, and Xaxus will use the flash now. Lolix actually going in quite aggressive to that one, but in the end, not pushing through too much. Orianna did start to walk up there as well, but so in the end, Xaxus lost both the Unstoppable Force and the
Should
flash.
Teleport here. No? Decided not to. Oh, he's in the base now, sorry. Teleporting over. Managed to clear the wave. The Corki had actually pushed it in.
Are you looking at the wrong screen again?
Maybe for half a second.
Yeah, I think you are. One of you guys finally won't get caught out by this, but I'm looking at the middle screen.
It's too easy for you because you're standing in the middle as well.
Yeah, no, but I'm old, remember. I got to...
true.
Luckily, I keep my wits about me, unlike you guys. You young whippersnappers. So... that was the top tower going down. 3-1 now, H2k, good claps. I think Faculty tried to trade it, which was never really going to work. 4 people pushing versus 1 person pushing. Maths don't add up, I'm afraid, and Faculty are the ones that lose out with all of their outer turrets now down. Sauce Perfect having a little bit of a time with this blue buff because he's out of mana, so kind of like just basic attacking it. If anyone came along, they would have an easy kill, but instead he will secure that blue buff for himself. Let's have a look across the items. Bit of a difference from Forbidden this time. Has actually go towards that Athene's Unholy Grail, which of course he skipped completely on the Ahri in the last game. So very similar builds between the two mid lane champions.
And look at the comp from Faculty here. You have the AP damage from Malphite, Elise, and the Orianna, and then of course you have the Corki, who does a lot of magic damage himself. So getting the Athenes here, getting early magic resist is super important, and it also means late game for Faculty. It's going to be harder and harder to kill targets because there's going to be so much magic resistance on the side of H2k.
Plus the fact that he can spam all day long in that mid lane as well.
I mean, that is a bonus.
Yeah. Let's see now what Obvious can do in this brush.
Trying to bait them in.
Pretty obvious bait, isn't it?
Well, you'd say that, but it might not be in the end. The hook misses, and there's a cocoon out of the brush, and they pick him off, and that was just instant burst onto Hjarnan, and the 4th kill of the game. That one goes over onto Cedrian, and leaves him at 2-1-2, and I tell you what, this tower might not last a wave longer. Forbidden trying to get across there, might even have to use his ulti if they want to save it that desperately, but I think this tower's gone down before they can say anything about that.
All right, 2-0-2 here for Obvious, making the plays.
Oh, the death sentence lands. Where's he going to go? He actually goes back onto Forbidden. Tries to get away from this one. Can't sidestep. Needs some fancy feet, but it's not enough. Mountain was not quite quick enough. Forbidden does get a counter kill, but the tower went down.
Yeah, tower did go down here, and they got the kill before. Oh, onto Sauce Perfect.
Well, Lolix getting a little bit aggressive here. He's flashed for it. Sauce Perfect running away from this one. Forbidden is nearby. He lands another kick. Can't get to the other side of him. It doesn't matter. Odoamne teleports in. Actually, don't think he teleported. He just came around the side. Picked up an easy kill there on Sauce Perfect. Perfect. So we'll get him right. But by the end of the game, we'll get it right.
Very, very nice play by Lolix, though. I mean, he jumps in, he used the flash and Q and everything, and he just follows, he chases, and kills him in the end. The Orianna sadly couldn't do anything with the help from Odoamne, and so far, both teams making plays, picking each other off left and right. Not a lot has happened yet, though.
We got a dragon coming up in 30 seconds. Let's not forget the first one of the game went over to Faculty. And they're at that point where, you know, you'd like to be able to put a bit of pressure onto turrets. That becomes harder, though, when you look at the other team and there's a Xerath in there. There's a Sivir that can, you know, boomerang blade straight through those waves as well. So it's harder for them to get closer to do that extra damage, even if they get the second dragon.
Yeah, but I want to see them actually fight here as well, because Corki is a lot stronger than the Sivir at this point. Malphite can jump in the face of Yanan, and he shouldn't be able to kill him. He will have to teleport probably from a flank here, so it will be hard to pull off the Orianna combo with the Malphite as he is pushing this top lane. But I want to see Faculty fight. Don't let this Xerath scale up to late game himself. Even though the late game for Faculty is not too bad either.
This is something H2k have done very well in all 3 games so far, is just bully them towards that dragon, make Faculty completely commit to it, and just run straight up mid, and they've almost taken this turret. I think they're going to get it before they even back away from this one. It's fantastically well executed. They're just completely pulling them from pillar to post, and we are going to see Xaxus on that top lane turret, but he's not going to do a lot about it. Let's face it, he's a Sunfire caped Malphite. He's not going to do a lot of damage to a turret.
Oh, obvious, caught out.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he can get away. Repel off to the backside. Actually, he's doing well here. Will get slowed, but the heal comes in from the side. Here comes Forbidden, though, picking him off from the ultimate, and now the rest of the team start to get in there. It's Odo Amne on the top side. They'll kill off Soul's Purefect, and now Cedrian and Mountain might have to. Flash was the next word to come out, and they did it right as I said it. Meanwhile, Xaxus is still slowly scooping with his big rock hands on that turret. It will go down. It's taken him about 4,000 years. But they lose the dragon for that.
Yeah, I decided not to use the teleport here because Obvious was caught out of position. And in the end, you get a tower, but the dragon going over to H2k here. They got a kill as well, 2 kills, sorry, for themselves. So looking good again for them. In fact, they were like grouping around it. The problem is when you are the one moving away from the mid lane and like moving around your own blue buff, you give up that mid lane, and H2k just walk straight in, push up to the tower as we saw before, and you have to walk the long way around to come back and defend and move back to the dragon.
They are being outplayed so far in Faculty. They had a good start to this game though, so they need to not lose heart. They need to focus on the plays they were making and landing that wombo combo that this team comp was completely picked for. But to do that, you need to be as a 5. You need to be actually there to fight at the same time, not continuing to split push. But they got a tower for it. As it stands, they need to just keep on regrouping, pushing back in there. You can see that Xaxus is TP'd back, gone down the bottom lane, and he's starting to clear that wave now and continue to build up. He's going to be one gigantic tanky monster. The question is, will he be in the right place at the right time to land that unstoppable force when it's required? As it seems they are going to try and force something in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's a weird response for me, the fact that you send the slow, scoopy rock hands Malphite to the top lane. When, you know, he's a slow split pusher in that scenario anyway. Then you get caught out a dragon, and he's not there when you actually end up being pulled into a team fight.
Well, so the thing is, the idea is okay, because you have to teleport, you can push it down to the tower, and as long as you can keep the enemy team from actually pushing anything, he can get the tower down. The problem is, the vision control is always in favor of H2k. Around the dragon as well, they cleared every single ward, which made Obvious had to walk down, face check them, being caught out, end up dying, and suddenly it just doesn't work. But there's an ulti.
Oh, only caught one though. Yana was the focus. There's a crescendo. That catches 3 people. Shockwave pulls them back in. Lolex is very low. You're going to try and repel away. Obvious can't catch on towards him. Still did not pick up a kill. Didn't quite chain in at the right time. Mountain now caught out. He will go down. Hjarnan picks up the kill there. The unstoppable force not quite on point.
It's not over yet either. Odo Amne stepping forward. Let's not forget that tower there is super low, and look at the damage coming in from Xerath once again. Hardly any health left for Obvious, and look at the health. There it is, the tower just a couple of auto attacks away from going down. The hook comes out, doesn't land, and he doesn't actually land his Q there, I don't think either. But look at the top lane as well. That is already pushing onto the inner turret for Faculty. They might lose 2 inner turrets with his push, plus the kill as well.
Yeah, there's no ulti on Xaxus, so he's not exactly very useful. Just walking in, smacking down, and dies. Well,
yeah,
that's about it.
Not a lot you can really say about that one. That was pretty clear cut. He was walking straight into a gigantic mountain of minions. Shockwave almost back though off cooldown. They didn't take the turret down, so it was a death for saving the turret. The question is, can they hold on to it now in this 4v5 situation? They are going to land a couple of hits. Remember, teleport is up. It's only a 14-second death timer. That's going to be Corki having to get out of this one. They're going to chase on Oduwamne, putting damage down, so it's Pure Effect too low. That's the turret. So 2 inner turrets picked up by H2k.
It's a smart play here. You engage onto them, force them away from the tower, and as soon as they're far enough away, you just turn around, kill it. You're not even actually aiming to take a fight. You just want to push them off the tower and take it down here. But H2k, we've seen this in every single game so far. They manage these side waves super well. Every single time they group up in the mid lane, one of the side lanes are pushing up, and it simply means once you win the fight or you take down a tower in the mid lane, you can just go to the lane where you have a massive wave being built up. And what they did here, got 2 towers from it, is well played.
It's kind of easy to bully him away as well when you've got a blue buff Athene Zerath who's never running out of mana. And there's Yarn getting a big fat wave down the bottom. I'm sure it will be pushing through. You see, they all pretty much bought up on that last round home. Leaves, for example, Hjarnan with Infinity Edge. Zeal got a Vamp Scepter as well, so gone a little bit.
Whoa.
He got away.
Calm down, lads.
All right.
He's gone.
Smacked him in the gapper.
What?
Isn't that what you say in North England?
No.
I was told by Stress and
Smacked
Pause.
him in the chops, mate. That's what
The
you...
chops.
Chops, yeah. Chops.
In the Gabba. I think that might be a more solid...
Gabba's a dance thing, isn't it? It's like, isn't that like the weird dance craziness?
So basically Stress and Pause have been lying to me.
It's very, very possible.
I don't know.
Damn.
Well, once again, it looks like FAC are going to try and defend on that inner bottom turret. Febiven's going to take the long route around via the Tribush to join the rest of his team. And what are they going to do from here? Always dangerous. Xaxus, that's kind of the danger sign. When you see Malphite trudging around with a ball on top of him, then you know Big Scoopy Hands is going to come dive on you.
Big Scoopy Hands.
But it's going to be the way for... Well, it's going to be the way for Faculty to actually engage the fights here, if H2k will allow it.
Don't know what that was.
I think the stage might have just collapsed. I don't know if you guys could hear that.
I think something just collapsed in the studio. I'm not too sure what that... That didn't sound like a good noise, that's for sure. But anyway, sticking back to the game, you can see big lead being built up by H2k. Dragon coming up in 20 seconds time will be the focus for these two teams. Now, for Faculty, they will have their big wombo combo up. Oduwamne, though, looking to try and collapse. They want to focus on towards him. They managed to catch out Obvious. Lolex goes in, does manage to catch on towards him, slows him down. Is it enough to go and chase? Oh, Oduwamne blade surged onto him, but he had to flash away from that one. They didn't catch anything. They're going to steal away the red buff, but they are still set and ready for this Dragon buff fight.
Well, look right here. A lot of members from Faculty in the mid lane moving straight towards the Dragon. Now they have the setup. They've placed the wards here. You could have your Malphite stand around the corner here inside the Dragon Pit so they can't see him and he can just ult over the wall and start the fight. Let's see if it happens.
Oh, Dragon going down. It's gone over to Faculty, but what can they do here? Xaxus waiting and getting ready to get in there with the ball on his head, but they're sticking back. They're not diving in. There is Xaxus going to go low. Crescendo comes around. Xaxus will ultimate, but they've lost Pure Effect before he can even use his ultimate. And there is Sheridan doing the damage in the back. He will fall though to Febiven.
Wow.
And it's an ace. They trade the Dragon for the ace, and Xaxus was waiting so long to go in. Credit to H2k. They didn't get pulled into position there.
No, that was an absolutely insane engage here. Lulix jumping in. He kicked them back. Let's just see it again here. So
watch them group, though. Watch Faculty group.
They are grouped. They're trying to get out of this Dragon Pit here. And then look at the Lee Sin kick. Kicked in there. Zerath comes down. Like suddenly, H2k has the wombo combo now. We can't even see Febiven in the screen. And yet he's just killing everyone. Such a nice setup. Orianna didn't even use his ulti.
And Faculty, they were so focused, and H2k was like, we're not going to group for you. We know you want us to clump up. They were so focused on landing that wombo combo, they forgot they actually grouped up themselves. And like you said, Lolex, what a fantastic kick. We had it in San Jose as well, that 4-man kick. That was another. And the wombo combo, as we said, when you're not playing so smoothly as a team, it's a risky move to go for such a wombo combo strategy.
Yeah.
And it backfired again.
You need some coordination in these team fights. And we also see the Zerath pick from Febiven here. He stays super far back in these fights because he knows if he moves in and stands next to his AD carry, There's the Malphite ulti. So he stays back, waits for it, uses the Q, which is a lot longer range than obviously the Malphite ulti, and then Xerath's own ulti to just do all the damage here. Xaxus can never find more than just one member, and that's why he's actually holding on to the ulti as well for such a long time.
However, Faculty pushing back here to get their 4th turret of the game, and obviously have themselves those 2 dragons as well. So not out of this one just yet. Let's not forget, if you've somehow missed the other games and are blind and can't see that scoreboard at the top, it's 2-0 to H2k, best of 5. So game point for them at this point, and we have to see if they've really got anything up their sleeves here in Faculty to come back from this one. Odoamne, who himself is starting to build a little tank here now after getting that Trinity Force in there. If you look down the other items, Death Cap, Athene's Void Staff, and the Sorcerer's Shoes for Xerath. I see a bunch of pink wards as well for H2k, just something that they have done decently well with in the past in those last 2 games, but we always said that they probably could have done a little bit more aggressive warding as well. At this point, they don't seem to really need that one, though. Just moving around the map. That turret is actually the final turret outside of Faculty's base to go down. They're hanging on here, but really by the skin of their teeth.
I should point out that Forbidden, I think, over the 3 games, currently is sitting around 21-10 overall as a scoreline. He is really playing out of his skin in this game, or more to the point. I actually don't think he's being challenged too much. No. He's quite happily sitting back. Xaxus found him. There we go. Unstoppable Force quickly flashed out of. And now they're going to turn this fight around because they know the Wombo combo is down.
And there's the ulti as well out of Forbidden, and Xaxus
just go straight Baron now.
Yeah, Unstoppable Force is gone, and that's a position where Unstoppable Force...
Still tricky with Shockwave and Crescendo.
So the thing is, yeah, at least go down and clear the wards around here. Place your pink ward and start setting up around this Baron and force and Faculty now to come and face check you. Because you have no Malphite ulti, so that is your main engage. Mountain doesn't flash, he can't flash Crescendo, but they need to go now.
Forbidden's just keeping him away on his own. 3 of them just walk straight in towards him. Now they're going to try and come around. Oh, quickly find it. Obvious punted away from this one. Baron down to half. This is still risky play. You can see Odoamne is actually pretty low in H2k. They're having to back away from this one. In fact, the team may have just forced them off. They've taken a lot of damage in the process, though. But if they can hold this one off, you can see that Unstoppable Force. The cooldown is ticking away very quickly. H2k, I think they've been beaten away for now.
Yeah, they didn't actually have to start the Baron at this point. Could have just waited inside here with the pink ward and then let them come in, land all the poke, and try to start the fight, like which Lulux actually tried to do, but he ended up kicking them away. As soon as Faculty moves away, wards get cleared, and Baron gets started again, and Mountain is dead.
Yeah, and that's the danger there as well. That's perfect Xerath country, to be honest. You can blast it down. There is coming. Disengage, 3.5k HP left on the Baron, and they decide to back off. It's already started resetting. There's no point in going back into that one. However, you've lost a lot of health now, and you risk Faculty saying, we fight for this one at this stage. However, they also have super minions streaming into their base, which need to be dealt with.
Yeah, and right now H2k can just go back. You should have a lot of gold. You just want a team fight here. You got a few picks at the Baron as well. Spend it, set up once again. Dragon is coming very soon. You can decide yourself. If in fact you want to walk down to the Dragon, you just take the Baron like we saw in game 1. Otherwise, take the Dragon yourself, go back to the Baron pit and set it up, and then start controlling these minions, get them pushing, and you can simply, you have so many options all of a sudden. Do we want to take the Baron? Are we gonna go back and push up again, use the Xerath like we've done so far?
Look at the brave push from Cedrian at the top lane. He just quickly charged up to that big chunky top wave, quickly burnt down at least 20 minions, and then backs away as quick as possible. He knows he had a minimal time to get in there and get out, and that's exactly what he's done. Finds himself Lolex in the bushes, who is clearing out the ward coverage. They're going for it, they fancy it. They kind of know that he's on their own. They're actually wisely protecting that pink ward, but he's just going to step away from that one. Blue buff's just got stolen away as well. I think Forbidden maybe will pick that one up. And again, Dragon up. This will be Dragon number 2, I believe, for H2k.
Yeah. Second Dragon, pushing power is, well, at this stage where you're basically pushing is not a bad thing to have. That second Dragon. And that possibly means an impossible defense at this stage. So inhibitors come back up in the mid lane, but you can see the H2k going to go straight in for that one. Odoamne's already going to start beating away on it before the rest of his team even get there. Now the question is, can you hold off?
Yeah, and Faculty basically have to fight right now. There's no last Whisper for Yanin yet. I'm not sure why he didn't take that as his third item. There's a lot of armor for Xaxus here.
3 of them stood together there. That was the time. Oda
Exactly.
Forbidden, and Yanin all stood on top of each other, and Xaxus wasn't quite close enough.
If they can get the engage here, in fact, he might actually be able to win a fight.
Oh, Soul's
That's
Pure
not exactly
actually
the way to do it.
Yeah, getting hooked up there. There's another blast onto Corki. And you see a couple of men already down to half HP. Forbidden's probably enough on the route to Baron to just stop them completely from even pushing through on that one, because your squishies are going to lose so much HP before they can even get around to that Baron pit to get any wards down. And those that do make it might just end up getting hooked out the backside anyway. And here we go. Lulek's going to come through, puts a ward right on top of their heads. They will be able to clear out that pink ward though. But can they get any more? You see, holding very cautiously on the top side. Nice little ward over the top, and you'll get yourself a Krug, but nothing more than that. But H2k really controlling this area of the map now. Lulek's wanted to go through. There it is, Q landing, and they're going to start off Baron for a third time, I do believe.
It's a risky one to go for, though. Xaxus is there. Everybody from Faculty close by. The Wombo combo is ready, and they are really exposed in that pit. I'd go for it. Oh, he only caught out one. It was Odawamni. Gets hooked straight in. Meanwhile, Lolex goes in. The kick came down. Xaxus is going to drop first. And now H2k chase on towards them. Obvious getting kicked on towards it. Lolex, will he land the Sonic Wave? Will he chase on? Straight in towards the Sonic. No, didn't pull it. Didn't pull the Shockwave. Would have got the kill on Lolex, but instead delayed. So it was just a 1-for-0 close, risky fight, but Soul's Perfect not really in the right place there.
No, and the ulti from Xaxus here was pretty bad. I mean, it was only onto Aurelia here. He didn't get onto any of the squishes.
Well, they flashed
in the
out,
back.
didn't they, I think? Oh, no, they didn't.
No, they just walked out.
They just kind of walked
out.
there.
Yeah.
So,
oh, dear.
again, in Faculty, they don't get the right engage. It is, of course, super hard. Zero with his long range, you will most likely need the flash here, which he does have ready for the next fight to get closer for Vivian. But H2k are just playing the fights correct. They're staying back. They're waiting for this Wombo combo engage to happen. And once it happens, they go in. And then they start cleaning up the kills here. Not sure why Cedrin has a Last Whisper on Corki at this point. It is not the most effective item for him. He doesn't have an Infinity Edge, which is one of the best items for him. And there's only a Randuin's Omen on the side of H2k as the armor. Everything else is just invested into magic resistance against this full MR or magic damage comp from Faculty, making it so hard for him to kill anyone.
So Lulek's just pushing up behind, trying to get that ward down. Only had 1 bar left, but couldn't quite finish it. Meanwhile, Odoamne just ripping through the minions and his mana bar there. You see that was basically just blade surging onto every second minion in the first wave that he came across, trying to push that one up as fast as possible. That will pull everyone away, and guess what? He can just TP right back into that one. And Xaxus, no, he can stand there. Probably won't take too much damage for him, but eventually will end up losing out onto that one anyway. And look at H2k. They're actually running a circle around. They want to push top as well.
So moving away from the Baron, tried it a few times, and Faculty managed to stop them every single time. They have already the super minions pushing in mid lane here. Just group of 5, of course.
Xaxus is not with them. They're actually getting grouped and chased and pushed, and it's going to be obvious they jump on Odoamne on him. We do see Xaxus coming back around the side. We'll just force them away, but bit of damage done. He's going to have to run back to the fountain while the rest of H2k push on towards this top inhibitor turret.
And this is where I can clear that out, but we'll probably be getting poked down. H2k again with those waves in all 3 lanes. It's worth mentioning, pushing in their favor. Now they know that they can pull back, go towards that Baron, and bait it all over again. Zero
vision right now for Faculty. Just that one ward, actually, they just passed over. That's about to time out. That's the only thing that gave them knowledge. You can see they're tiptoeing their way in towards there. Death Sentence doesn't quite land as they ward every push they get close to. They're risking it, and they're going to get caught out, I feel. Can they turn it around? Soul's Perfect getting focused on. He gets taken down very quickly.
Yeah, no shockwave used there. Xaxus, in the meantime, did dive into the middle. The crescendo has already been used, and it's basically damage limitation at this stage. Chianan will pick off Mountain. He'll take a couple more auto attacks, but that will do it. We see Xaxus low, obvious, and Cedrin going to have to back away in the mid lane. Maybe the push around H2k actually looping through the jungle again. I think they're once again again going to go and try to finish off that Baron. It's now the 4th or 5th attempt even. It's got about 4,000 million HP, does the Baron by this stage, but they'll be taking it down, no worries, and they'll finally be able to pick that one up and surely win the game at this point.
Yeah, that is too far ahead. I mean, Void Stuff wasn't completed in the last team fight either by Sus Perfect. It wouldn't probably even have mattered because he just got caught out. They instantly killed him. He has it now. We need to get Infinity Edge on the Corki. He needs to sell his Magic Pen boots and buy attack speed boots because Magic Pen at this point of removing 15 MR from someone that has so much MR on the side of H2k barely does anything. So get your attack speed boots. Try and optimize your characters as much as possible. If you lose this game anyway, that's it. You're down in the losers bracket. You have to face Reason Gaming tomorrow to stay in the tournament. You just have to try and maximize everything. We even see potions being bought now by Obvious and Faculty just setting up for one last fight. Haven't seen a single wombo combo yet.
No.
It will have to happen.
No, it hasn't.
We've seen the wombos, they've just not been comboed.
Just not quite together. Sos Perfect does back away. H2k get themselves the 3rd dragon as they move around, secure themselves the blue buff for Forbidden, who himself is still yet to die in this game. Just that 1 death so far in game number 2 for him. He has played a perfect game.
Wow, it took 3 games to get that one out. It's pretty obvious in the end. Either way, Voidal going to throw the hook out. Zaza's trying to step forward. He's got the ball on him. Can they land a wombo combo finally in this game? Get a team fight going their way. There's the hook coming out. Zaza's, again, he's got no flash, which is, I think, been part of his problem. Every time he goes near, he gets blasted back. And he still doesn't have a flash available to try and get in on that one. They have held H2k away from that mid lane. Inhibitor, of course, though, is down. And now they get those upgraded minions to go in on towards Inhibitor number 2. And with that Baron, with the dragons in there, how do you stop them pushing through, especially with Xerath battering away from the backside? They didn't quite finish off the tower. The minion doesn't quite finish it on its own either, but it's literally 2 auto attacks there for Sivir to go in. And even another blast comes around. That tower is now going to be going down.
Yeah, you can see they're pushing through. Inhibitor is now focused on minions in the mid lane as well. Gonna just rotate around there, buff those up as well, get that Baron buff on towards them as they come near. There we go, buffed up super minions coming through, chunking through. Big, has he got a Christmas hat on him? He does. I'd never seen that one before. Anyway, he's going straight in there. Crescendo does land. They try and get the wombo combo, still does not hit. And surely now in Faculty gonna get forced back. That's gonna be Hjarnan going unstoppable. 6-3-10. There's another kill. There's the Nexus turret going down. Forbidden will not get taken down. Will he fall? No! He lives again. 4-0-9. What a fantastic performance. H2k dominate in Faculty in a 3-0 clean sweep.
We are going to have an absolutely insane game on Saturday. Giants Gaming 3-0 against Reason Gaming. Looked so solid in every single game. H2k dominating in Faculty as well. That's going to be a good match.
And in theory, tomorrow's game as well, because both teams lost 0-3. So maybe that one will be helping out. Of course, that will be End Faculty versus Reason Gaming. And, well, both of those teams are going to have a lot to talk about tonight. Watch those games back, see exactly what went wrong for them overall. I mean, if you look again down the H2k scoreboard, just incredible play overall. Feb even 4-0-9, 2-0-8 for Odo Amne. This time was more of a impactful performance by Hjarnan. I'm not saying that he didn't have an impact in the last games. It was just not quite as needed because his top and mid laner were carrying so heavily. He ended 6-3-10 this time around with the Sivir, and just showing that, you know, you throw so many mid lane bans out, and Feb even somehow picks a champion to come up with the performance in all 3 games.
Should give some credit to Voidal as well. He's had a pretty impressive game. I think he was 0-0-10 in game 1, 3-0-13 in that. I can't quite remember what he was on the second matchup, but some very impressive stats coming out from H2k. Very strong performance overall. And like you say, we're going to see the 2 mid lane battle. Forbidden clearly much better in this duel. How is he going to fare against Giants? That's the question, because he seemed to be a big linchpin for that team. Yeah,
again, he's been the guy everyone expected to perform like he's doing today for the last half a year, and it just never really worked for him. Now he's just looking great. See if it is his time to shine. A 3-0 win. We're, of course, going to go over to Shox, Crepo, and Dexter to break down that